have kids, you want to have kids, or maybe you're a caregiver, there's one important thing that you really can't overlook when it comes to your job as a parent, as a caregiver, you know what I mean? And that one thing is you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of your health. The way you should probably think about it is if you can't take care of yourself, what makes you think you can actually take care of somebody else? Why should they trust you to take care of them? You know what I mean? Or I don't know, there's just other ways to think about it. But when it comes down to it, the main thing you got to do is take care of yourself physically, mentally. And I'm going to show you just a couple negative things, but I will show you some positive things as well. Before we get started, I want to say thank you for tuning in. I'm TJ, and this is Home with TJ. I'm going to be posting this on YouTube and Spotify, and not on TikTok because I got banned from there for some reason. I don't know what happened, but if you could, I would really appreciate it if you like, comment, subscribe. If you're on Spotify, give me a follow. That'd be very helpful. And if you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it. So like I said, I'm going to go through 4 negative effects of not taking care of yourself as a parent or caregiver. This first negative effect, it's inevitable for sure. And especially as a parent, because you're going to have to wake up multiple times through the night. So our number one negative effect is you're going to have sleep problems. I said it's inevitable, and it does lead to fatigue and tiredness, sickness, and everything like that. Also, it takes a toll on your mental health also because you're going to be constantly in a state of stress. You know, you have to manage your sleep, and if you can't do that, you're not going to be at a fully functioning level on your brain and everything like that. So you need to find ways to get yourself the sleep that you need. And with the lack of sleep, you're going to also see that there's a bunch of other things that is connected to the lack of sleeping. And that gets into my next 3 negative impacts of your sleep problems. And the first one in there, which is going to be our second total negative effect, is weight gain. And as you know, for speaking for like parents and everything, right? During pregnancy, you obviously you're going to eat, right? And you're going to gain a lot of weight. For dads with your partner, you're also going to eat as well. You're not gonna let them eat alone. If they're going to get something, they're going to want you to get something too. You're also going to want to get something yourself anyway, probably. So you are going to gain weight through pregnancy. And even afterwards, you're still going to be gaining weight because you're not going to have all the time that you need to work out, to cook, or anything like that. So you may be limited to like fast food, or you don't have time to eat something healthier, or you just need something really quick, or whatever help you're going to have brings food for you. It may not always be the healthiest. Plus, your significant other, they're going to want snacks and everything, or you're going to have to help them get through it pretty much. You got to make sure they get their nutrients and everything too, because they just pushed out a whole person. They're going through a lot of changes, so you need to be there to support them mentally, physically, and you're going to have different needs that they're going to want. You're not always going to be able to be active. You're not going to be able to do all the things that you want to be proactive about, right? So weight gain is something that you're definitely going to experience. Also, one thing that I would like to say is that you might even be too tired to be active because you're not going to be sleeping at night. For me, right? Let's say when my wife gave birth to our son, right? The first few weeks, at least, right? I was the one that was getting up every single time at night to feed my son, and during the morning time, I would sleep for maybe like half of the morning. I didn't have the time to be active or work out or anything because by the time I was waking up, my wife was already needing a break. She had been up for quite a long time already. You're not going to have time to balance all that out anyway. So our third negative effect is going to be stress. And not just a little bit, it's going to be a lot of stress because you're going to have so many different things that you're worried about as a new parent. For caregivers as well, right? But for speaking for parents and especially newer parents, first-time parents, you're going to have so many things that you're just going to be like paranoid about because you've never taken care of a child before. You've never had a child of your own. You want to make sure you're doing everything right. You're always thinking about the next step or maybe if something's going wrong, how you can fix it. What's something that you're going to be able to do, pretty much. Stress is something that you're not going to be able to escape from at this point. What you can do is just be proactive as possible and just communicate. That's all you could do at right now. But stress is one of the main negatives that comes along with parenting, and not taking care of yourself roots from a lot of that stress because you get so engulfed in what else you need to do rather than taking care of yourself. An example is like a diaper rash, right? For some reason, recently my son was getting more diaper rashes when he was with me, and I don't know, I didn't know why. My wife was getting real upset about it, so I did a lot of research. She did research and everything too, till we figured out, or maybe we didn't figure it out, but he doesn't have these issues anymore. But while we were going through it, I was constantly checking and didn't have time to eat. I didn't have time to use the bathroom, cook, or clean or anything because I was so constantly like paranoid about changing the diaper, making sure he was clean, making sure that he wasn't sitting for too long or any, things like that. Those are things that I would stress about and still do stress about to this day, but you can't let that affect you. And now we're getting into our fourth negative effect of not taking care of yourself, which is developing chronic symptoms such as like high blood pressure, headaches, or you're going to have memory problems because your brain's not functioning fully because you're not getting any sleep. But some of the main ones is those are the three main ones, and they call high blood pressure, hypertension, right? They call it the silent killer because you don't know it's there. You don't know you might not know what's coming, and a lot of stress, a lot of not taking care of yourself, not watching what you eat, not exercising. It'll creep up on you, and sometimes you won't even know it until maybe it's too late, or you catch it at the doctor for some reason, or the dentist. I don't know why it becomes so hard to take care of yourself while you're going through these things, but there's always going to be something that you can do to alleviate these issues, right? And especially when it comes to developing these chronic things like headaches and memory loss, it's important that you're at least aware of your body. You're in tune with your body, and you can see that something is going wrong, or you might need to fix something along the way. Those are negatives of parenting and not taking care of yourself. But enough about the negatives. We can talk about the bad things about being a parent, why it's hard and all that. We can complain as much as we want to for however long. But I'm going to give you a few ways you're going to be able to manage or take care of yourself while you're going through all this. And like I said, it's also as a caregiver too, because it's not, I feel like they're very similar, being a parent and being a caregiver. So you could use both. You can use all of these tips for both, both reasons. And I'm going to try my best to not try to make this into like a parenting section of the video or anything like that. But I do speak mainly for the parents out there, first time parents and everything like that, because it's important, because you're developing a child, you're raising them, and it may not be the first time you're doing it. So if I rely heavily on my experience as a parent or things that I do, I apologize. But hopefully these things help. So the first thing I want to talk about is time management. That's one of the most positive things that you can work on pretty much when it comes to taking care of yourself, because if you don't have time to do stuff, you're kind of being counterproductive. You're wasting your own time at that point. The thing that I like to do is I try to make sure that we're on a structured but flexible like schedule pretty much. So I know bedtime is something that we try to stay consistent with. We try to get him in the room, in the bathtub at the same time, make sure we get a bottle, make sure we get some FaceTime pretty much with our son. And I feel like if you're consistent with a schedule, you're going to be able to be a little more proactive about what's going to come next, and you're going to have a little less stress at that point. Another thing that I do while like managing time is I work around his nap schedule. And the way I do it is while he's napping, like right now, he's napping. I'm recording this video because I feel like it's very important, because nobody told me these things. Nobody told me how I can manage all this stuff, or how hard it would be to become a parent. One of the main things that you could do also that has to do with time management is you got to try to be more efficient in the things that you do. I know a lot of people have their opinions on dishwashers. Growing up, we always just used it as storage pretty much. We didn't use it as an actual functioning dishwasher. When I learned that it actually cleans the dishes pretty well if you take care, maintained it and cleaned everything right, it saves you so much time because before I would spend so much time washing dishes and drying them, and it was just I would be in front of the sink for like an hour almost because there was so much stuff from cooking, all the bottles and stuff. So using the dishwasher made me more efficient in time management because I had more time to do other stuff than standing in front of the sink. Another thing that I recently found this one out is meal prepping, right? But not necessarily getting the stove going, getting the grill going, getting the rice cooker and all that going. The easiest thing you could do is getting a slow cooker because in the morning, right, you could just toss everything together and you just put it to cook, and it saves so much time because later in the evening, well, here's another little tip, right? Once going through the day, your child is going to be more cognitive of what's going on, right? They're going to be more in tune with how they're feeling. They're going to be more irritable. Well, if they're teething, their teething is going to intensify because they're more conscious of that feeling. You're not going to have a lot of time in the evening as opposed to the morning when they first wake up and they're happier. You can do a lot more things in the morning as opposed to the evening. You get them fed and everything, you put them down so they can play and do their tummy time or whatever you're going to put them to do. While they're doing that, you can get your slow cooker ready. You can chop up your veggies, you can toss your meat in there. You could if you want to cook beans, right? Beans take about 6 hours if you're doing it that way. You just toss them in there, and then they just cook by themselves. Pretty much anything you do in there it just cooks by itself, and by the time it's ready, it's dinner time. It's ready. You don't have to worry about cooking and wasting more time in the evening. Occasionally, you will have to check on it, here and there, but otherwise, getting a slow cooker saves you so much time in the kitchen for sure. And if you have a big enough slow cooker, right? I just got this cheap little $10 slow cooker from Walmart. It's 2.5 quarts, but I've been able to make food for pretty much the whole week in there. We have sides and everything that we've cooked in it too, so we're able to manage a bunch of different meals just by the slow cooker. So that saves so much time on other days too, where we don't even have to cook. Another thing on time management too that I found out myself, which I feel like is very helpful, is to prepare bottles like you're going to be going out anyway. We do formulas. We're not a breastfeeding family, right? For our own reasons anyway. But so we use the formula, and what I do is I'll measure out the water, and then I'll fill up the little container and everything, right? The little travel container for the formula. Just toss it all in there, and this way he has 3 bottles ready to go at all times, or until the container is empty. He'll have 3 bottles just ready to go, no matter what. This way, if he's fussy or anything, or he's like he needs it to fall asleep because he's really overtired, you missed a wake window or something. It helps out a whole lot to just have them prepared. You don't have to stress out about even them crying while making the bottle or doing it one-handed. You could have it all ready pretty much, and all you just have to do is just pour the formula in there and then mix it. It's not it's not very like time consuming, but it does help out a whole lot because you stress out very easily. You get very overly stimulated as a parent. My next tip, it might not be the most ideal tip for some people, but I would definitely recommend screen time. Maybe not to the extent that you're expecting me to say, but I wouldn't just hand them the iPad or my phone or anything like that. What I do just to get a few minutes pretty much. If I need to use the bathroom, if I need to, I need to check on the food, I need to put the laundry away or move it over, something like that, or anything really. If I just need like maybe like 5, 10 minutes, what I do is I found a movie or TV shows that my son likes, and I'll put it on for him basically. And I really need to, I'll put it on, and For the most part, I keep the TV going for like background sounds anyway, just so my son has that feeling that he's not alone, so he doesn't get the separation anxiety pretty much. And if I really need him to focus on the TV or anything, I'll put those things on, and it'll open up a little window for me to just do something just for a few minutes. What we do, or what I put on, right? My son, he likes Encanto, he likes Bluey, and when he was younger, he liked Daniel Tiger. As soon as we started doing a little bit more of the Disney shows, Disney movies, and everything, he kind of strayed away from the Daniel Tiger pretty much. But the Disney the Disney movies and TV shows were a little more it was a little more tolerable because of all the songs and everything like that. On the topic of screen time, I want to say that I try not to do anything too overstimulating or high energy because I don't want it to affect my son's like attention span or anything like that, his interest. I don't want to be make him heavily reliant on like something too stimulating pretty much. I do a lot of like lower energy or I see it on TikTok all the time or the shorts, the YouTube shorts that putting on like, shows and stuff that we watched as kids in the 90s or early 2000s because they're a lot lower energy and lower stimulating and the colors and all that stuff. I try to stray away from all the newer stuff pretty much unless it's like Bluey or Daniel Tiger like I said. Those are pretty good and a lot of the Disney movies and stuff too, they're not too bad. So my third tip is going to be, it might sound a little cliche, right? But you want to just give into the parenting. You want to stop being a parent for not necessarily stop being a parent, but stop being your own person and just they need that pretty much. Not worrying about housework is one of the most important things because you're going to have plenty of other time to do it if you're managing your time well. And like I said before, just enjoy your kid. Just be a kid again, just for a little bit. I don't have a whole lot to say about moving into parenting because I feel like it should be a given that you're just going to be present with your child. Just be present and enjoy them. I don't have a whole lot of time left, but I do want to give you my last tip. So number 4, the thing that will help you, take care of yourself just a whole lot better is to just include your child in everything that you do. And I know this also is another one that just sounds kind of cliche, right? But the more things that you do with your child, the easier it gets. And I feel like that's something it's something that I feel like a lot of people just assume and just know, right? But also, as a stay-at-home dad, I spend a whole lot of time with my son. And I know a lot of other dads, they're the ones that are out there working and providing, right? All that stuff. I feel like they may not have the same relationship with their child that I do because I spend all of my time with my son. One of the ways that I include him in everything I do is like, say you want to exercise, right? What you could do is, be their entertainment. You can you want to do like a yoga video or you want to do like a calisthenics workout, right? If you do it in front of them, you're going to be subconsciously you're going to be teaching them a healthier habit to be like more active. You're going to be more stimulating to them in a positive way than another TV show would be. And if you're enthusiastic about your workout or doing like yoga or anything like that, they're going to catch on to that and they're gonna also feel other ways. They're gonna know that it's okay to do those things, and maybe they'll join in eventually, and you can work on their physical health at some point also. And if you don't want to be their entertainment or anything like that, just wait for them to take a nap. You can maybe squeeze in a quick workout and a shower, or maybe you could just work out the entire time and wait for your spouse to come home. Whatever you want to do to manage your time with while your child is sleeping, just so you can be more active and work on your health because managing your own health is the most important thing. It's like I said before, but when it comes to being physically proactive about it, this is just one way you could do it. Another thing that you could do to include your child in what you do is sharing a meal together. What I recently started doing that I feel like it's been working pretty well is I'll make his food first and then I'll prepare my food. For example, like our morning routine that we kind of just started the other day is I'll wake up, I'll do a little bit of activity, I'll work out or something like that before he wakes up. Just something light so I don't have to feel the need to like shower or anything like that, just to just to get the heart pumping a little bit, and stretching and all that, and just drinking water to like rehydrate and everything. Once he wakes up, which is usually maybe like an hour or so later, right? I'll change him, and then I'll give him a bottle to let him rehydrate and get wake up, fill himself up a little bit, give him a little bit more energy for his tummy time, how he wants to play, whatever he wants to do. And then while he's playing and everything, I'll wait maybe another like half hour to an hour. And then I'll make him either like a oatmeal or a cereal. I'll get his ready. I'll make mine with like a coffee, and I'll put some fruit in my oatmeal or anything like that. We'll both sit at the table and we'll eat at the same time. We'll take turns. He'll take a bite, I'll take a bite, and he'll take a bite, and I'll take a bite. And then we're getting like a FaceTime together. We're doing, we're actively like spending time together. We're both eating and getting like nutrients, and he's watching me eat, I'm watching him eat. It's beneficial all around to just include him. A lot of people say to make sure you feed them first and then you eat. This way your meal's more enjoyable. But I feel like eating could be a bonding experience too. They see what you eat and pick up on it eventually too. And you're also getting your nutrients to make your way through the day pretty much. Anyway, that's all I have. Those are my 4 tips on how to take better care of yourself as a parent. And if there's any other like negatives, there's a bunch of different research you could do. And like I said, there's so many different ways to take care of yourself. It's just comes down to managing your time. And that's all I can really say. Just if you manage your time better and you're a little more open-minded about your parenting styles or anything like that, there's so many opportunities for you to not be like a ball of stress and gain a bunch of weight and develop a bunch of conditions or anything like that. So that's all I have for today. This is I'm going to be posting this on Spotify, so it's going to be on my podcasting. This was Home with TJ. My name is TJ, and you could follow me on Spotify, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. I would greatly appreciate all that. If you have any feedback, let me know, and we'll see you next time.